Good morning. It is currently 6 a.m., 6:13 to be exact. And I have a request to the voters of Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. And that is please, whatever you do, don't vote for Trump and don't vote for Clinton. And I'm going to explain why you should pick anyone but those two. In particular, Cruz and Sanders. Kasich can drop out for, it wouldn't even matter. Let's start with Clinton. This is a person who I believe has craved power her entire life. And there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. There's nothing wrong with wanting to actually make it big. But there is a problem when that willingness to acquire power is not met with any type of growth in morality. This is a woman who called her husband's mistress, Monica Lewinsky, a Looney Tune, and joined in continuous insulting of her by most of the media for her relationship with a president who had far much more power than she did and far much more authority. And it really, that should have been a disqualifier right there for any office that she's held since, I think. But I will give the people of New York, who have presumably voted for her at least 3 times, or 4 now, credit, because this was not the only thing. This was the only thing, aside from Whitewater and other minor scandals, until she became a New York senator. People say I'm too young to remember the days of Robert F. Kennedy, but I can assure you that there is a complete difference between those two, and it's not a positive one. He's someone that, especially a Democratic politician, would like to be. Think of Clinton's public appearances. Think of every time she has associated herself with African Americans, Hispanics, and just people that are not part of her administration or office. When have they ever been not been during an election year? She is the exact crooked, ideal politician that people are sick and tired of. You've seen her sit around and she'll just stay in a bubble of just going and doing nothing. And that's the point I'm making. She has not accomplished a single thing. As senator, as secretary of state, oh, she traveled to the most countries. Okay? There are people who have, I'm sure, been everywhere as well. Are we going to elect them to a high office? So that's the first thing with that. But go back to her 8 years as senator. What did she do in that whole 8 years? What did she do at all? And I'm comparing her to RFK because they held the same seat. So it's not as if, oh, well, back in his day, things were, different. Well, they were to an extent. But it's actually much easier to travel now, believe it or not. Thanks to the improvements we've seen in technology and just overall everything else. So she's no one that I would even consider voting for when you have Sanders, who has a record of going out and actually advocating for civil rights, of doing things that really show a humanitarian effort in years that he's not up for re-election. And I think that's something to consider. I think that's something to idolize. And I really believe that if the voters of these 5 states can come to that consensus with me, he'll be able to carry it and come closer to matching Clinton in delegates. But he has to win big, and every person's vote matters. So even if you don't vote for him, I encourage you to come out. I'd rather you vote for him, but I can't control how people vote. The other part that gets me, and this is going to Trump now, how does a man claim success as a businessman after literally going bankrupt 4 times. I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I've been there the entire duration of this election cycle. And I've never seen such contradicting things said about a person. I've never seen people post videos advocating, "Oh, he's a great guy. He can do this, he can do that." And then you go and actually look up his record and you'll find he's done anything but that. You'll find out that he's left people without jobs. He's taken money that really other people deserved. I don't see how we we could consensually and willingly and knowingly put someone of that nature in, give them a nomination to run on a ticket that could potentially lead them to the White House. I don't see how that's even possible. And it's really incredible to me that you have people who know about those failed businesses and they'll still advocate voting for this man off the basis of being a businessman and thinking that that actually will allow him to effectively change the economy. No, it will effectively destroy the economy because the man has no experience. That's the difference between Clinton and Trump. Admittedly, she has experience. Doesn't mean it's good, but she has experience. He, on the other hand, has apprentice. So I don't see how one can even compare the two, except that neither one of them seems to be qualified, in my view, to have the highest office. I don't see anything they've done that's accomplishing. I don't see anything they've said that actually has any type of substance behind it. It's just empty rhetoric on both sides for those two. Sanders and Cruz both have their own ideas that actually will make a difference in my view. And Cruz has a record of getting things done, and I'm sure that'll appeal to conservatives. He's done things that actually are part of that viewpoint. So I think that people know who they should be going for, and if they're not willing to go for them, it's their loss. But thank you for watching and have a good day.